Hello everyone and welcome to my channel where I talk about the best movies on Netflix. In this episode, I wanted to share with you the best dystopian movies that you can find on the platform. So if this is exactly what you've been looking for, make sure to hit the like button and let's get started. The first place on my list is taken by the platform. This is a story about a group of prisoners enclosed in a tower-like building, and so the main premise is that whenever they get fed, the platform full of food descends from the highest level to the lowest one. And so the problem is that people who live higher eat more than they actually need, and so the people at the bottom don't get anything. And if you at least like this idea and this concept, you definitely must watch this movie. Besides of that, this is amazing thriller, horror, and a really mind-blowing movie about prisoners and how they survive. So if you love especially survival movies, definitely check it out. The second best dystopian movie that you can find on Netflix right now is Snowpiercer. This is a story about a group of people who survive on a train that goes around the planet after the failed climate change experiment. And so now on the train there is a battle between different classes, because people who are rich live in the front trains front part of the train, and people who are poor live at the end, and so they are treated differently. And this is really interesting movie, especially if you're looking for some philosophical context, and moreover there is a lot of action happens in there, so definitely make sure to pay attention to this movie. The next movie I wanted to share with you today is What Happened to Monday. This is another fantastic futuristic movie on Netflix, which tells us a story about a world where every family is allowed to have only one kid due to the overpopulation. However, when one family gives a birth to 7 kids at once, they decide to resist the government and save all of them instead of killing. So everything goes fine at first, but when one of the kids is gone missing, they must investigate this case as well as resist the government so that they wouldn't find out what really happens. So if you're looking for something really mind-blowing and futuristic, make sure to pay attention to What Happened to Monday. The fourth place on my list of the best dystopian movies on Netflix is taken by V for Vendetta. And don't get me wrong here, this is probably the best movie on this list. However, due to the fact that it has been released like 15 years ago, I've put it on the fourth place because there is a huge chance that you have already seen this one. But if you haven't, you're a lucky one, because personally I've seen it a couple of times already. So V for Vendetta tells us a story about like a guy who is a kind of superhero, and so he fights against the police-occupied London by Nazis after the World War. And so it's very interesting to follow how he does it by himself, and as well as with his assistant, who he saves initially. So if you haven't seen V for Vendetta, you definitely must pay attention to this movie and check it out. And the last best dystopian movie that you can find on Netflix is The Lobster. This is another very interesting story about a world where people are sent into the hotel in order to find their couple, and in case they don't do so, they are being transformed into the animals of their choice and are sent to the woods. So this is a very mind-blowing and interesting movie that you can find on Netflix right now, and if you haven't seen The Lobster, make sure to check it out. And that's all of the best dystopian movies on Netflix I wanted to share with you today. If you enjoyed watching my video and it brought some value, make sure to hit the like button and let me know in the comment section below which movie have you chosen to watch. Also, if you know any other great dystopian movies on Netflix that I haven't mentioned on this list, make sure to leave your suggestions in the comments section below, because this way you will make my video even more useful by providing not only 5 great dystopian movies on Netflix, or maybe even 6, 7, or maybe even 8. So your help is really wanted and highly appreciated. Lastly, if you always find yourself bored and don't know what to watch next on Netflix, make sure to subscribe to my channel as well, because this way you will never get bored and will always find something to entertain yourself with. So make sure to subscribe and have a great day. Goodbye.